KOIN 6 News This Morning starts right now.
Now at 5, a man is dead after a fire in a home in Clark County. We'll tell you what we know so far about this investigation.
Also, next month, several construction projects could make a mess of traffic in downtown Portland. One major project gets started on Monday, and we're looking ahead to what to watch out for.
And Mayor Wheeler has promised a solution to the protests plaguing city council meetings. This comes as the problems are hitting him close to home. We are looking ahead to another potentially contentious meeting of city leaders today. Good morning on this Wednesday. I am Trevor Alden for Jenny Hansen.
And I'm Ken Body. Let's get a first look at your morning weather and traffic together. Carly Kennelly standing by with a look at the roads. But first, Sally, are we going to have some more rain?
Oh, yeah, it's coming down right now outside. It's also breezy out there. A wet Hawthorne Bridge bright and early this Wednesday morning. 49 degrees. Temperatures are mild. Never lost the cloud coverage overnight, and we really never lost the rain showers either. Right now, it's wettest as you head north along I-5. We have light showers around Portland, heavier rain up toward Longview and in the Cascades. It's really coming down at the west end of the gorge right now. East of the Cascades, scattered showers around Pendleton and LeGrand. So your forecast for this hump day, temperatures in the mid-50s, wet and breezy initially. We'll see those showers start to taper off as we head into the afternoon. Those winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. So Carly, I bet you used your windshield wipers early on.
I mean, just look at the radar here on the map, the traffic map. You can see that, yes, there's a lot of green out there. A lot of green freeways, though, too, as far as traffic flows go, so nothing to slow you down right now. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll see when that rush hour starts, most likely in about 30 to 40 minutes. So I-5 southbound is 8 minutes there in from Vancouver. I-84 westbound, a quick 5-minute drive, 5 minutes on 26. Everything looks nice and quiet on I-205 southbound. That's 12 minutes only from Highway 224 to I-5. 217 southbound, 8 minutes, a 17-minute drive in from Wilsonville.
Thank you, Carly. This morning, we are working to learn the name of a man killed in a deadly house fire in Vancouver. The home on West 30th Street in Carter Park went up last night. And here's what we know right now. That fire broke out just after 7 o'clock. A neighbor saw smoke and called 911. 30 firefighters responded. But when they tried to enter the front door, the flames were too high. Visibility was very low. A man and his 2 pets were killed. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Next month, traffic through downtown Portland could be a real nightmare for drivers. 2 big bridge repair projects are set to get underway. And TriMet is also set to start a big construction project that will disrupt service through downtown Portland. Brent Weisberg looking ahead at what we can expect. Brent?
Hey Ken, good morning to you. I want to show you the Morrison Bridge from downtown's waterfront. You can see it this morning all lit up in the University of Oregon colors, but in a few days here there are going to be some lane restrictions on the Morrison Bridge, and traffic in and around downtown Portland is gonna be ugly the next couple of months. Starting next week, Multnomah County will launch a $6.5 million improvement project on the Morrison Bridge. 4 of the 6 traffic lanes will be closed during the work. 1 lane in each direction will be open. The new deck that is going to be installed will replace the one that deteriorated prematurely after installation in 2011 and 2012. There will also be several lane closures on the bicycle and pedestrian path on the bridge. Officials tell us that when one side is closed, the other will be open. Meanwhile, TriMet is preparing for a big project themselves in downtown Portland. This project is scheduled to run from April 30th through May 20th, and construction will be happening along the MAX lines between Southwest Morrison and Yamhill Streets at 11th and 1st Avenue. TriMet tells us that they are going to be releasing some more information as we get closer to that project. Again, that one not expected to start until the end of April, but April is definitely going to be a busy month for construction in downtown Portland. Reporting live, I'm Brent Weisberg for KOIN 6 News.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done, Brent, but it has to be done, especially that Morrison Bridge. We've had problems with the Morrison Bridge for a while now, so thanks for that report and heads up.
Well, next week, the University of Texas is planning a memorial to remember a student from Oregon who was murdered on campus. Haruka Weiser from Beaverton was killed as she walked home from dance practice in Austin nearly 1 year ago. The student government will hold a memorial in her honor on Monday. Haruka's family is asking friends and family to do small, random acts of kindness to remember her. A homeless young man has been charged with Weiser's murder. A shoplifter is busted, and a security guard tries holding her until police show up. but she puts up a real fight. This whole thing was caught on camera, and the video's now going viral.
Oh, really? I'm going to take you down for that now.
Well, from kicking to punching, Hillsborough police say 26-year-old Sarah Michelle Jarvis of Arizona is now facing a robbery charge after all of this. It happened 2 weeks ago at the Hillsborough Rite Aid off 185th Avenue. 16-year-old Cody Humans filmed it with his cell phone. What's going through your head?
I don't know. I was kind of speechless and kind of surprised and shocked, and it's kind of humorous too, in a way.
Well, this video now has over 500,000 views on YouTube. Oregon law allows a person to hold and detain someone suspected of shoplifting until police arrive.
A rehab center in Portland is being sued over claims it did not investigate sexual abuse by one of its former employees. That man, Adelalu McConan, is now serving time for sexual abuse of patients at a different facility. The lawsuit, on behalf of 4 victims, is suing the West Hills Health Rehabilitation Center for negligence. One of the victims' family members is speaking out for the first time.
Here we are with my mother bringing it to light, and her hopes are that we can go ahead and stem this.
The rehab center tells us the allegations are false, and it is confident it complied with reporting requirements. McConan was also fired from Providence St. Vincent Medical Center after 9 women accused him of sexual abuse there. Well, today, city leaders set to meet again, and this time Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler promising a solution for any rowdy protesters looking to disrupt the meetings.
Those protests have been hitting close to home for the mayor recently. Cor Harlan is live in downtown Portland with more. Good morning, Cor.
Morning, Trevor. Morning, Ken. The big question is, can Portland City Council actually have a meeting without being disrupted and having to dismiss the meeting as a result of protests and demonstrations that break out inside the City Council meeting once the meeting gets started? This has been a problem for the last going on several months now. The City Council has passed an anti-demonstration ordinance inside council meetings. It is really yet to be enforced. So we await word today from Mayor Ted Wheeler, where they will have an afternoon meeting in the Portland building behind me here. Mayor Wheeler has vowed to come up with some sort of a solution to try and restore some order, try and do the city's business in these city council meetings without having to dismiss the meetings as a result of protest. We'll see. Remains to be seen what he plans to do and what he plans to announce as a plan later on today. And it's not only been at work that the mayor has had difficulty. He has had difficulty also at his personal residence, where protests have taken place there as well.
I have a gash in the side of my tire, and the guy who was trying to fix it on my behalf said it was definitely not caused by road wear.
Again, the council has actually enacted an anti-demonstration ordinance. The mayor has vowed not to use the most stringent tool in that ordinance. That's the removal of people from the meeting until it has been tested constitutionally. It goes through the courts. It's being challenged now. But Trevor and Ken, meeting today at the Portland building. This could be the first meeting actually where they have this new ordinance under their belts. We'll see. Time will tell how successful this meeting will or will not be today, later on this afternoon here at the Portland building. Trevor and Ken.
Yeah, well, the mayor was careful not to say that someone slashed his tire, but if that indeed is the case, that's disturbing. People have the right to protest, but that kind of vandalism seems like it would cross the line if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cor, thank you so much. Well, today, senators will hold a news conference to update the public on its committee's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. This comes as the House Intelligence Committee's probe continues to come under scrutiny. The White House is denying allegations it tried to block former acting Attorney General Sally Yates from testifying before the House Intelligence Committee. Yates was given a letter by the Trump administration warning her there was a limit to what she could say in her testimony. Well, on the same day she went to question that letter, Devin Nunes canceled the hearing altogether. The controversy is fueling some to believe that Nunes cannot lead an impartial investigation. 3 storm chasers were killed when their vehicles collided in West Texas yesterday. Tornadoes and heavy rain were reported in the area at the time of the crash. The Texas Department of Public Safety said one of the SUVs ran a stop sign. Two of those victims worked for the Weather Channel.
Closer to home, part of Selwood Riverfront Park is closed because of high water on the Willamette River. You can see picnic tables and trash cans along the river. Along the riverfront are underwater right now. Meanwhile, the floating section of the East Bank Esplanade in downtown Portland also remains closed because of the high water.
And the high water, of course, from March, filled with rain. Sally, I know that we've been chasing the record for wettest March. How close are we now?
You know, Trevor, we just moved up the list as of this morning because of rain overnight. So we are in fourth place, 2012, 1957, and 2014, the only wetter Marches on record. So right now, 7.20 inches. The wettest March on record happened in 2012 with 7.89 inches. And potentially by the end of today, we could move into the number 2 spot. Here's a look at what's going on satellite and radar. There's a cold front just to the north of us, so I think the rain will pick up before it tapers off later on this afternoon. It'll taper off once this cold front moves south and east, so increasing rain throughout the day east of the Cascades and further south in the southern Willamette Valley and southern Oregon. Here's a look at wind speeds. We have sustained winds 10 miles per hour in Salem, 12 miles per hour in Portland. Out along the coast, gusts between 20 and 35 miles per hour early on today. So what to expect across the region? It's wet and it's breezy out along the coast. Those showers start to taper off the second half of the day. Wet and breezy here in the Willamette Valley as well, with that rain moving from north to south. With later on, I think the evening commute will be drier than the morning commute. Wet through the gorge today. Central Oregon rain is going to increase as we head into the afternoon. Also breezy conditions there. Improving weather in the 7-day though. Tomorrow showers and a few sun breaks, and Friday looks like the first dry day of the week with partly cloudy conditions and high temperatures in the low 60s. Carly, Saturday looks mainly dry too.
And make sure to drive carefully on those wet roads this morning. So far, no accidents to slow you down, just a wet commute, and check out the drive time. So we're going to get to I-5 real quick and show you I-205 actually before we get to I-5. This is the Glenn Jackson Bridge, and you can see those cars on the right-hand side, the southbound direction, are doing just fine coming in from Vancouver. Now to I-5 southbound, 8 minutes there, 9 minutes if you take the Glenn Jackson Bridge. Everything on the west side here, 26 eastbound looks good. 5 minutes only, 8 minutes on 217. That's whether it's southbound or northbound. Now remember, sign up for text alerts or push alerts to stay up to date.
Thanks, Carly. 11 minutes after 5 o'clock now. And the Oregon Ducks men's basketball team, they leave for Phoenix today to play in the Final Four.
Well, the team hit the court in Eugene yesterday for a final practice at home before Saturday's big game against the North Carolina Tar Heels.
They're talented, but they want to be a good team. They're unselfish. And the thing that probably sets them apart, and Dylan's a big part of it, but the other guys, they're very competitive.
Well, KOIN 6 News is your home for all things Oregon Ducks. Starting tomorrow morning, our NCAA coverage live from Phoenix begins with Jeff Gianola, David Solano, and Cole Miller. We'll have a Duck special at 7 o'clock on Friday.
And you can catch the game right here on KOIN 6 on Saturday evening. The tip-off is at 5:49. And once the game is over, stay tuned for our post-game show. 5:49, an exact time,
That's right.
An exact start.
Not a moment later.
And not a moment before.
And I'll get to report during that special, too, from a Ducks watch party. We're still nailing down when that is. So if you've got one where you'd like us to report live, let us know. And maybe we'll meet up with you and watch the game together.
I think there'll be parties all over town.
I don't think we'll have to search very hard.
Especially if they win, yeah.
All right, it's 5:12. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
Amazing video of a firefighter saving an elderly man from a burning home. We'll tell you where this happened and how both men are doing now.
And terrifying moments on the runway. A plane goes off the tarmac and bursts into flames. Find out what happened to the people on board.
And don't forget, if you have a story you'd like for us to investigate, just download the KOIN.com app and send us your news tips. Imagine having your golf game interrupted by this guy. This big gator strolled onto the green during a golf tournament on Monday, delaying the game as he ambled along. The event was held in South Carolina. A representative of the club where the golf tournament was being played says alligators often walk onto the courses before retreating back into the ponds.
Hey, he's walking slowly. You have time to get away.
You do have time to outrun that guy, which is a good thing.
Somehow it makes it a little more sinister, though. Like he's hunting you.
Yeah, like stalking you.
Yeah.
Stalked by the alligator.
Oh, man. A lot of people wondering when they can head out on the golf course around here. It's really still muddy out there, but I think you'll have some dry weather tomorrow and a completely dry day ahead Friday. Today, probably not the best day. If you're hardcore, hey, nothing will hold you back. Wet and breezy at 8 o'clock this morning. By noontime, still scattered showers around, but the rain's starting to move south. 5 o'clock this evening, I think you will definitely have noticed a decrease in the shower activity. Some of us are dry by then, especially in the northern Willamette Valley and southwest Washington. Highs today in the mid-50s. So here's a look at radar right now. We have light rain around Portland, heavier rain as you head on into the gorge and the Cascades, where snow levels have really shot up there overnight, between about 6,000 and 7,000 feet at the moment. Also scattered showers out along the coast range. So it is a wet drive from Portland out to Cannon Beach and Seaside this morning. Also wet east of the Cascades between Pendleton and LeGrand. And because of all this rain, the Columbia River running very high. This flood warning, highlighted in green through Vancouver, remains in effect, with the river running over a foot above flood stage, and it will continue to be above flood stage there at Vancouver for the foreseeable future. Very close to flood stage now through Longview, and that's the reason the National Weather Service has issued this new flood warning for the Columbia River there in Kelso and Longview. Currently about a half a foot below flood stage. We're going to be keeping close tabs on that as we work our way through the next week. Temperatures in the upper 40s, a very mild start. Not too chilly outside at all. 50s out along the coast. 48 in Redmond with a southerly breeze keeping temperatures up this morning. 7:30, widespread rain, breezy conditions, and then you'll notice the front moves down to the south. By 5:30 this evening, a lot of the Willamette Valley catching a break from the action. Meantime, east of the Cascades, still pretty wet. Tomorrow morning looks mainly dry, just a few spotty showers around. And then in the afternoon, potentially some sun breaks along with an isolated shower. Here's Friday morning, finally drying out. Partly cloudy skies, really nice start to the day. That's 9 o'clock in the morning with filtered sunshine in the afternoon and high temperatures in the low 60s. Can't hardly wait for Friday. Out along the coast today, wet and breezy this morning. Scattered showers this afternoon. Those gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Highs in the low 50s. I-5 corridor, mid-50s today. Rainy and breezy this morning. And then scattered showers taper on off as we head into the evening. Few showers this morning east of the mountains with increasing rain through the gorge. A wet day. Those snow levels quite high, 7,500 feet this afternoon, and an avalanche warning until 6 tonight in the mountains. Here's your 7-day forecast. Just a few more showers tomorrow. Not as wet as what we'll see today. Partly cloudy on Friday. A few more clouds Saturday and maybe an isolated shower, but mainly dry. Sunday, scattered showers return. Carly?
I've got something that's a heads up for you for later on this morning as we get excuse me, closer to 7 o'clock. And that is a right lane closure of Highway 43 southbound, just south of the Selwood Bridge. That closure, which is only the right lane, will happen for some drainage work that's going on. So may cause delays, it may not. It's a lighter than usual commute this week because of spring break, so that's good news. Now 26 is only 5 minutes. The drive-in from Wilsonville 17 and 5 minutes on I-84 westbound.
All right, thank you, Carly. Well, 4 Massachusetts firefighters are recovering after rescuing an 82-year-old man from a burning home. The whole thing was caught on camera. Flames had pushed the man out onto his 3rd-floor porch where he was stuck in a corner. Now, firefighters were able to save this man by bringing him down a ladder. That man was then revived and rushed to the hospital, and all 4 firefighters are expected to be okay. Pretty incredible video there. We also have some more flames, this time in Peru, after a plane went off the runway during an emergency landing. You can see that plane caught fire, and local media reported that the plane's right wing broke, and that's what started those flames. Well, fortunately, everyone on board was able to escape the plane before this fire spread, and no one was badly hurt.
A woman in Los Angeles may face charges after locking herself inside a crane for hours. This all happened yesterday. That woman climbed inside the cab of the big machine and just refused to come out. Workers managed to cut the power to the crane, preventing her from causing any serious damage. After about 2 hours, rescuers were able to get the woman out of that crane safely. A man in Indiana recovering after a strange accident on the highway, and a word of warning, this might be difficult for some people to see. A wild turkey went right through the windshield of the man's SUV as he was driving down the highway. You can see the bird got stuck halfway through the window. Well, fortunately, the driver was able to pull over and was not badly hurt. A witness to the collision got special permission to take the bird home so he could clean it and eat it. So,
yeah, they're making lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah. So the turkey did not die in vain. Time now is 5:21. You're watching KOIN 6 News. Watching out for you.
Some changes are coming to Crayola. We'll tell you when the big move is coming for the crayon company.
.525 right now. Welcome back. Some big changes coming to your kids' favorite crayons.
Crayola is looking to retire one of the colors in its classic 24 crayon box. The company is keeping quiet for now on which color's getting the axe. The announcement will be live streamed Friday on Facebook on National Crayon Day. Well, Amazon is trying something new to improve the way you shop for groceries. The company is testing out the new service for Prime members at 2 of its Amazon Fresh grocery stores in Seattle. And it works like this. You place an order online, either from home or on your phone, then you drive to the store. And once you get there, your groceries are waiting and an employee loads them into your car. Now, there's no additional fee for this service, and Amazon says orders will be ready in as little as 15 minutes.
that.
Time now is 5:25. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
Well, comments by a well-known Fox News host spark outrage across the internet. We'll tell you about this backlash.
And a young woman is looking to change people's minds about undocumented immigrants. We'll tell you how.
KOIN 6 News This Morning starts right now.
We're coming up on 5:30. Thanks for being with us on KOIN 6 News This Morning. This is a live look at storm damage in Rockwall, Texas. Rockwall is just east of Dallas. You can see several homes badly damaged by powerful storms overnight. Despite the damage, no injuries were reported. So that's the silver lining in that dark cloud.
Yeah, fortunate. Could have been far worse. We've hit that point of the year now where
Right.
you're going to see a lot more of those types of storms pop up in the middle of the country.
Yeah, we're right in the midst of it, and the threat of severe weather is moving off to the east. You can see right now that line of storms slicing through the eastern portion of Texas, moving on into Louisiana. That is a cold front, and associated with that, we do have enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms in the bullseye area, the greatest risk where you see that brown color. So we'll be tracking that throughout the day today. Here's a look at our forecast for this hump day. We have scattered showers outside right now. It's wet, it's breezy. Prepare for a wet morning commute, maybe leave a little bit of extra time. As the day wears on, showers will decrease as we head through the afternoon. I think we have a much drier evening commute to look forward to. High temperatures today in the mid-50s. We have a couple really nice looking days in the 7-day forecast. More on that in just a couple minutes.
It's a wet commute. Drive carefully out there on those wet roads. Everyone's doing just fine right now. Barely any slowing. It looks like I-5 and I-205 are still flowing freely. Those will be the first spots to slow up in Vancouver. But right now it is free and clear of any problems. So I-5 southbound is 8 minutes only. It's a 5-minute drive on I-84 westbound, and traffic's moving nonstop in from I-205. Same with 26 from 217 to I-405, even in from Hillsborough. It looks great. So I-205 southbound is 11 minutes from Highway 224 to I-5, 8 minutes on 217 southbound, 18 minutes on I-5 northbound from Wilsonville to downtown. In a little bit, I'll have more on a lane closure just south of the Selwood Bridge.
Thank you, Carly. Well, today, senators will hold a news conference to update the public on its committee's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. This comes as the House Intelligence Committee's probe continues to come under scrutiny. The White House is now denying allegations it tried to block former acting Attorney General Sally Yates from testifying before the House Intelligence Committee. Yates was given a letter by the Trump administration warning her there was a limit to what she could say in her testimony, and on the same day she went to question that letter, Devin Nunes canceled the hearing altogether. The controversy is fueling some to believe that Nunes cannot lead an impartial investigation. Well, the House voted to repeal new FCC internet privacy rules. The rules would have prevented internet providers from selling customers' browsing habits without their consent. The legislation also passed the Senate, and it's now headed to the president's desk.
The hashtag Black Women at Work is trending online right now, and it's because of what many call racially insensitive comments made yesterday by the White House press secretary and a Fox News host.
Listening all morning, I didn't hear a word she said. I was looking at the James Brown wig.
Well, it started when Fox host Bill O'Reilly made an offhanded remark about California Representative Maxine Waters, a llongtime Democrat. She's served in Congress for a long time. Well, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, also under fire. He had a heated exchange with African-American reporter April Ryan. The backlash was quick. Women took to Twitter in droves, starting the hashtag Black Women at Work, sharing their experiences of discrimination in the workplace. Even former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton weighed in.
Now, too many women, especially women of color, have had a lifetime of practice taking precisely these kinds of indignities in stride.
Well, last night, Bill O'Reilly apologized for his comments, calling them stupid. North Carolina's controversial bathroom bill continues to make headlines this morning. Lawmakers were working on a repeal, but now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Democrats blame the Republicans, who are in turn blaming North Carolina's governor, saying he misled them.
We called the governor on the way down here. You notice we were a few minutes late to let him know that we agreed to his proposal in principle. He now denies that he ever made the proposal.
Well, the NCAA is pulling its games out of the state for the foreseeable future because of that bathroom bill.
There's a common misconception that undocumented immigrants do not pay taxes, but one young woman in Arizona is looking to set the record straight. Belen Sisa posted this picture online recently showing her tax return. The young woman is a Dreamer, an Obama-era program which allows people who are brought to the U.S. as kids to legally work in the United States. Well, she's been paying taxes for the last 4 years, and she attends Arizona State University. She says after posting that picture online, she started receiving threats.
And it's on every level of disgusting and horrendous, the amount of hate that I received. There was one where it was a character of Trump holding a head, and they photoshopped my head in it, throwing me over the wall that he's going to build on the border of Mexico and the United States.
Well, despite the negative comments, the young woman says she has also received a lot of support.
Family and friends are counting down the hours until a so-called Dreamer will be released from a detention center in Tacoma. Yesterday, a federal judge approved the release of Daniel Ramirez Medina pending deportation proceedings. Immigration agents arrested the 24-year-old 6 weeks ago in Seattle. They say Ramirez was affiliated with gangs, which he denies. His legal team says they will continue to challenge the government's case against him in federal court. Well, we've been telling you how sanctuary cities across America could soon lose federal money for not cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler says he believes the city is already on strong constitutional ground and said that Portland's sanctuary status is consistent with state law. We asked what impact it would have on the budget should the Trump administration make good on its threat.
Until there's some specificity to what their threat actually is, it's impossible for me to sit here in Portland and respond to that threat.
Immigrations and Customs Enforcement tells us that nearly 120 cities and counties have rejected their request to detain illegal immigrants. Well, we are digging deeper this morning into an internal State of Oregon report about the Department of Human Services.
It shows social workers investigating welfare cases are often leaving the child there even when the home is found to be unsafe. Our Brent Weisberg is live this morning with more from this alarming report. Good morning, Brent.
Hey, good morning. This new report was actually generated by the Department of Human Services here in Oregon, and it came at the request of a state senator. She is now describing this report as stunning. State Senator Sarah Gelsner says that DHS is an agency in a state of disrepair and chaos after disclosing an internal state report showed that children were left in unsafe homes almost half the time. The report was generated by the agency's Critical Incident Response Team, also known as CIRT, after a child died in April 2016. Just over 100 cases that were reviewed by the team showed that nearly half the time the consultant did not agree with the caseworker's conclusion that the children were safe.
On the one hand, it's not surprising because we know that we have problems with assessments. What was stunning to me was to read the examples and to see how severe they were.
DHS's director did testify about the report, saying that resources within the agency is an issue. He also says that he's looking deeper into the report. To read that full report and also to see the examples that the state senator referred to, you can go to our website at KOIN.com. Reporting live, I'm Brent Weisberg for KOIN 6 News.
All right, thank you, Brent.
Oregon lawmakers are considering a new approach to addressing the nation's student debt problem. They introduced a bill that would allow Oregonians with federal or private student loans to deduct the total amount of interest and principal they paid throughout the year from their state taxable income. This expands the existing federal student loan deduction, which allows you to deduct only your annual interest payments up to $2,500. A bill is making its way through the legislature in Salem aimed at cracking down on left-lane hogs. The Senate bill calls for a $110 fine for slow pokes in the left or fast lane on 2- and 3-lane highways. Supporters of the bill say someone driving slow in the fast lane is not only annoying, they are also leading to traffic backups. And this can also lead to aggressive driving behaviors in other drivers. The House will now debate the bill.
Well, let's take a look at our traffic and weather right now. First, Carly Kennelly taking a look at the roads.
Well, right now the roads look good, just wet out there, but no big backups. I am starting to see a little bit of slowing form on I-5 southbound before the interstate bridge, so we are just about at the start of rush hour. Now, a heads up for a couple of things. You've got this project on Highway 43 southbound that starts at 7 a.m., and so the right lane will be closed southbound just south of the Selwood Bridge, and that's because of drainage work that's going on. And then something to watch out for today, extra congestion around Murray and Bowerman near Nike because of a signal down from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. That means flaggers will be out there on Murray, and that could lead to a pretty good backup. I-5 southbound 9 minutes in from Vancouver, 9 minutes on I-205 southbound. 217 looks great, so does Highway 43, and the drive on SR14 eastbound is a breeze. Sally?
Wet pause this morning, Carly. We have scattered showers outside. It's also breezy, so not the best walking conditions this morning. I think by the time you get home from work and you head out, things will improve. It'll be dry, meaning not a lot coming out of the sky, especially around Portland and Vancouver. but all of the soil is so saturated. Yesterday, it wasn't raining at all, and Tucker got so muddy out there. Temperatures in the 50s for most of the day. This is Rex, and Rex was adopted about a year ago from Oregon Humane Society. Now Rex just loves to chase the ball and is living quite the life. He was at Manzanita this day. Roxy, Abby, and Oliver. 3 peas in a pod there. We've got a cat and 2 dogs. Very cute. This is Conroy. Looks like spring has come inside that home. Karen and Kent Smith sent me that picture. And here's Dot saying, "Go Ducks." Hey, if you have any pictures of your animal, cheering ducks on, send them to me. I would love to showcase ducks pictures the rest of the week. All you need to do is go to coin.com/petwalk and then click submit a picture. Don't forget your name and your animal's name. But again, if you have ducks pictures, send them my way. Let's make it a big duck pet walk forecast fest the rest of the week. Back to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Sally. 5:41 right now. And a local hiker says he rescued a bear cub because he thought it was going to die.
Corey Hancock tells us he found the bear cub abandoned on the Santiam River Trail near Salem on Monday night. He says it looked like it was in distress and it was barely breathing. So he gave it rescue breaths, picked it up, and took it to the nearby Turtle Ridge Wildlife Refuge.
Thought it was dying, but it just pulled through. I didn't know if he would, and we weren't sure he'd make it through the night, but he's doing fine.
Well, the bear is now in the care of the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, and here's the problem. They say you should never assume a young animal is orphaned. Instead, you should call them, and they will have a wildlife biologist investigate and intervene if necessary. They say it can be dangerous to take an animal, and it's illegal. In fact, we found out Oregon State Police will be following up with Hancock on this matter.
Portland's Japanese Garden is ready to open some brand new spaces. There are 3 new garden spaces, including a bonsai terrace and new LEED certified buildings with living roofs, a cafe that features tea from Japan, and a castle wall. The grand opening of the $33 million expansion is set for this Sunday. And Portland Japanese Garden up at Washington Park, one of the most beautiful places in the city, and very peaceful too.
I still haven't gotten up there. I got to do that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Now that they've done all the renovations, it'll be even better for you.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, time now is 5:42. You're watching KOMI 6 News, watching out for you.
The web is buzzing over the new Spider-Man trailer. We'll take a look at what is sure to be one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer.
And coming up at 6 o'clock, we have 2 dogs that need new homes. You'll meet these pups and find out how to give them a second chance.
Welcome back. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
The North Carolina Tar Heels already in Arizona this morning for their big game against the Oregon Ducks in the Final Four. The Heels arrived last night. The Ducks head to Arizona today ahead of Saturday's big game. Now, this is the first time the Ducks will have played in the Final Four in almost 80 years. In fact, they won the first NCAA championship 78 years ago. The Tall Furs, the Oregon Ducks won it, and it wasn't even a Final Four. They only had 8 teams in the tournament.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Well, good. Long overdue for another title shot
Yes.
then. Our NCAA coverage live from Phoenix begins tomorrow with Jeff Gianola, David Solano, and Cole Miller. Plus, we'll have a Duck special at 7 o'clock on Friday. And you can catch the game right here on KOIN 6 and CBS on Saturday. Tip-off 5:49 sharp. And once the game is over, make sure you stay tuned for our post-game show and head to KOIN.com for all of our Ducks coverage.
And Sally Showman is also looking at the other side of the bracket. You have connections in the Spokane area. So Gonzaga is playing South Carolina, which is kind of the Cinderella of the tournament this year. So we'll see if we can get an all-Northwest final. That'd be good.
It would be really exciting. I can't even imagine. That'll be on Monday, right? Monday night?
Monday night is the title game, yes.
Okay, well, overnight, you guys, we moved up the list of top wettest marches on record. We're now in 4th place. Potentially by the end of today, we'll move up into 2nd place. Here's a look at radar. Not a lot going on right now south of Portland, just a few spotty sprinkles. Most of the action is still up to the north of us and east through the gorge. I'll pause this so you can see downtown Portland right now temporarily dry. Same with Salem. The rain's coming down, but lightly out along the coast. Heaviest rain right now through the gorge where you can see those yellows. So prepare for a really wet drive along I-84. And east of the Cascades, we have scattered showers along I-84 all the way into Idaho. So again, pretty wet roadways out there statewide. Also, it's breezy. Along the coast, we have gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour this morning. We're gusting 12 miles per hour in Portland and east of the Cascades. Right now, 18 miles per hour in Redmond, Madras, 14 miles per hour. So that's a southerly breeze drawing in mild air. Temperatures are rather warm for this time in the morning. It's 50 right now in Vancouver, 48 degrees in Redmond, and 38 for those of you in Burns. So there's a cold front just to the north of us. This is going to sweep throughout the day today, and as it moves south and east, the steady rain will taper off across northwest Oregon. So here's what I mean. 7:30 this morning, rain will pick up a bit along I-5, I think by the morning drive. That's a couple hours away. East of the Cascades, central Oregon, mainly dry at that point in time with increasing rain the second half of the day. But by then, this is 5:30 evening commute. It looks like Portland through Salem, mainly dry. East of the mountains, though, pretty soggy. Tomorrow will be a day with a few passing showers initially. Snow levels drop back to about 4,000 to 5,000 feet. So snow returns to the Cascades after rain today and an avalanche warning due to unstable snowpack there. Passing showers in the afternoon Thursday, but not as wet as what we'll see today. And then Friday still looks like the nicest day of the week with partly cloudy skies. The high clouds will filter the sunlight in the afternoon on Friday, but temperatures, I think, still make it into the low 60s. Wanted to mention it's been quite the water year so far. It started on October 1st. October was the second wettest October on record, the first wettest February. So we had the wettest February we've seen since records began in 1940 at PDX. And as I mentioned, we are right now in 4th place for March. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, just a few passing showers, partly cloudy Friday, mostly cloudy Saturday, maybe a spot shower, but I think most of the day will be dry and temperatures remain quite warm. Sunday, few showers, mainly dry Monday, and then shower chances increase again on Tuesday. Carly?
So check out I-5 southbound. It is backed up right now to SR 500. So we are into rush hour, and this is the only delay that I see out there right now. So that's I-5 southbound from SR 500 to the Interstate Bridge. And you can see the average speed is 29 miles per hour. It's only going to get slower as time goes on. 13 minutes from SR 500 to the Fremont Bridge. I-205 southbound is still clear. 9 minutes there from SR 500 to I-84. A quick drive through Oregon City and West Linn on I-205 southbound, and only 8 minutes on 217 southbound.
All right, thanks, Carly. A classic Broadway show headed for the big screen now. STX Entertainment will release an animated version of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. That's the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice. STX Entertainment made the announcement at CinemaCon. That's a gathering of theater owners Elton John set to work with Weber and Rice on the movie, which will include some new songs.
And speaking of cartoons, the sequel to Disney's animated hit Wreck-It Ralph now has a title and a release date.
The movie will be called Ralph Breaks the Internet. The title was revealed yesterday during a movie convention happening this week. The original Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012. It was nominated for an Oscar. The new movie set to hit theaters in March of next year.
I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do.
Ed Sheeran's Shape of You is a massive hit. We don't have to tell you that. But one woman loves this song so much, she went to jail for it. Sonia Bryce of Willenhall, England, played Shape of You over and over at top volume, and she continued even after her landlords got a court order and a judge gave her a 6-week sentence. Well, when she got out of jail, she kept blasting the song, and that prompted an 8-week sentence and a judge's order to, quote, behave as a reasonable and responsible adult. When you got a jam, sometimes you just got to jam.
Yeah, I like that song too, but not enough to play it over
Not
and
enough
over
for
again at full
14
volume
weeks in
all
jail.
day. Yeah, not enough to go to jail. Well, this morning, the internet is buzzing over the new trailer for the latest Spider-Man movie.
Well, this movie sees Spider-Man battling with his nemesis, the Vulture, but the web slinger is also at odds with his mentor.
What if somebody had died? I was just trying to be like you. I wanted you to be better. I'm gonna need the suit back. But I'm nothing without this suit. If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Iron Man is set to play a prominent role in Spider-Man Homecoming. Of course, Robert Downey Jr. will be reprising his role as Tony Stark alongside returning Spider-Man Tom Holland, who first made his debut in Captain America: Civil War. Now, while many have enjoyed the new trailer, some, including me, have complained that it gives too much of the plot away. Spider-Man Homecoming hits theaters July 7th. I complained to the producer of this show. I think that's probably why it made that into the script.
Well, so you think it gives away too much?
I would recommend watch about half of the trailer and then stop if you're interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good advice. Time now, 5:54. You are watching KORNY 6 News, watching out for you.
It's a problem that's plagued college students for generations. How can you prevent a hangover? Well, 2 students at an Ivy League school think they have the answer. We'll tell you about their pre-gaming concoction designed to keep you moving the morning after.